Hey guys, welcome back. GT Machine here. We're gonna do the Panamera oil change again. I'm up on the second one. Also, we're gonna go ahead and do it the easy way. Found an option to use a extractor here, and I'll show you guys how to do it to where you don't even have to use a lift or anything else, and everything's on top to make it really easy. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, got the hood open. Just need to get the engine cover off. These are the most pain in the ass things that you just gotta be careful or you'll break them, because mine's already broke from the previous owner because these little rubber grommets get stuck on the posts, and then they like to pull out of the spots in the engine panel, and they end up ripping the plastic pull down areas where it's hold down. As you can see, mine's already broken, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it replaced. So what you want to do is I'm gonna go ahead in here and show you. So right here is where we're gonna be putting the oil extractor. Got to remove this cap here, and then we can stick the oil extractor right down in there. So we're gonna go ahead and get the oil extractor set up, and I'll show you how get it pumped out. All right, so what you want to do is get a pair of pliers on it and just gently pull it out. It's got double O-rings on it that seals it. And we'll put this off to the side so we don't lose it. Take our oil extractor, and then we'll feed it down into the hole. Go ahead and take it all the way down to when it stops. All right, there we go. All right, now mine's air operated, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the air hooked up, and then I'm gonna mute the sound while I got it on because it's gonna create a lot of noise. Get the air lines hooked up. And I can start turning on the pressure. And then I'll show you guys a little bit of it so the oil will start coming out, and then from there, we'll go ahead and take a break. I'll go ahead and suck all of it out, and we'll come back. As you can see there, oil is already starting to come out, and then I'll go to the extractor. So let me dial in my air pressure. So we're gonna let it extract, and this has never made it simpler. So one thing when doing this, just in case your hose seals the tube, go ahead and remove the oil cap. That way you let the engine breathe a little bit. And then while that's doing that, we'll go ahead and get the oil filter housing off. All right, well, that's extracting out, and before my air compressor kicks on, go ahead and get the oil filter cartridge out. So go ahead and loosen it up. And then once it's unscrewed by hand, I usually just lift it up and let it drip out. And when you lift it up, you remove the seal to where all the oil can drain out of the filter housing and back down to the pan. We'll let that drain out, and we'll continue to suck oil out, and we'll go ahead and come back when get the oil filter changed. All right, got the oil drained, pretty much pulled out 9 liters of oil through the suction tube. So we'll go ahead and put the cap back in. Just make sure it's fully seated all the way down. It'll go in a lot easier than it came out. So now we get to change the oil filter. So I've already loosened it up. Just pull it out over here. I'll go ahead and take it over to the bench, and then we'll get it changed. All right, so got a brand new filter here. Go ahead and get it out of the box. There's the filter, and then the O-ring for the cartridge. So one thing I like to do to make it easy take a paper towel, grab the oil filter, and then just pull it off the cartridge. That way you make a less mess as possible. And then I take the oil filter and put it right into the box. I'll go ahead and change the filter. The O-ring on the cartridge. So I just usually take a pick, grab the O-ring, and then just work it off. Take the new O-ring, and I'll work it over top of the housing. You gotta grab a paper towel. All right, clean up the mess a little bit. Dry off, cripes. Dry off the filter cartridge, and then take the new filter. Doesn't matter which way it goes, it'll go either way. It seals on both sides. Put down the filter housing and then push down till you hear the pop. That's it. We'll go ahead and get it back installed, and we'll start putting oil in it. Go ahead and take your filter, put it down in the housing, and then go ahead and start it by hand until it stops. Go ahead and take the tool, and then we just want to run it down until it stops, and then go just a little snug, and that's it. That's all you want. You can torque it if you like to 25 Newton meters, but it's pretty much once you bottom out, just a little effort more, and that's it. But you don't want it to be too tight, or you won't be able to get it off, or you might crack the housing. So now we're going to go ahead and get oil in it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the oil in it. I like Mobile One, and then we got the old wine box here of oil. So go ahead and put oil in it. This thing's going to take 9.5 liters of oil. So my little thing here measures out 2 liters. So we'll go ahead and get it filled up. And we'll put 2 liters in at a time. This makes it really handy to pour in. I use this on my GT4 as well, and then any other car you could use it if you like, if it's hard to fill the oil where you can't put a funnel in it. All right, there's 2. The old wine box flowing. This kind of makes it really nice. I like this wine box of oil that Mobile One came out with. Makes it real simple to measure out how much oil you're using. And it's very expensive. Walmart's got it for 60 bucks for that, and you get 10 quarts in there. I think it's 10 quarts. I'll check it here in a second. All right, there's 4. Let's see, how much is in here? 12 quarts. So you get 12 quarts of oil for 60 bucks. I think that's really, really good price for Mobile One full synthetic. This just makes it really easy to pour in. All right, there's 6. Eight right here. All right, 8 and 1.5 more. So go ahead and measure it out. All right, so I put the last bit in. And there is no dipstick. It's a level gauge in the cluster you'll have to use, and then I'll check it and add as needed. It's always easier to add than take out, so if you want to go a little light just to make sure, it's always good to go a little light, and then look at the gauge, and then you can add from there. All right, there we go. All right, once that's done, go ahead and put your oil cap back on. Move the wires back to where they belong. I just moved them just to pull the filter out and make it easier. And then move our wine box. Get our engine cover. There we go, engine cover back on. And then we'll go ahead and reset the oil life. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get the iCarSoft logo on. So we go to service, then we go to oil reset, select Porsche, select the current version since I have 2 listed in here. I just do vehicle select, go down and select Panamera 971. Ignition's on, just make sure ignition's on, then hit F1 for enter. Then reset oil maintenance interval, make sure the ignition's on again. Hit OK, F1, and then here's where you got to enter the date. It wants to enter the year, the month, the day, and also it wants the time for some reason. Not sure why it needs the exact time of the day, but go ahead and input it here, and just in case it erases the stuff in the box, you can look up above in the parentheses and it shows you how it needs to be displayed. So go ahead and enter it 2024 or whatever year you're doing. Mine's 2024, and then it'll be 2024 dot the month, which is 10, dot the day, and then dot the time. So it's in there is military time. Sorry, the camera's all over the place. It's hard to hold it and do it at the same time. You see I'm getting it entered in here. And then once it's done, hit F1, and then hit F1 to continue. And then go ahead and reset the whole oil service. Application complete. And then go to full vehicle service, hit enter, and it'll complete as well. That's pretty much it. Turn ignition off, and then go ahead and start the car. And then as you can see here, I'm shutting it off and turning it back on, and you'll see the maintenance will not display now on the right hand side of the screen. So we're powering up, and right here where I'm pointing, you'll have the maintenance interval or indicator, and it's not there. So we're going to go ahead and go through the menu system and check the oil level, see if it reads. Go down to notifications and then oil level, and right there as you see, pretty much right at the full mark. So got the right amount of oil in there.
So go ahead and good to go. You want to start it, run it, make sure we fill the system, and recheck it again after it's hot, and then see where you're at. But if you got to add a little bit, just want to make sure it's up to the max mark.
All right, guys. That was the easy way to do the oil change in the Panamera. Definitely picked up a trick this time around, so I don't have to get underneath, take the panels off, drain the oil, make a mess from underneath with the drain plug. Definitely a lot easier sucking it out. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, but you pretty much get just about all of it out and makes it so much easier. If you guys don't have an air compressor, you guys can more or less buy the one that's a new pump one. You can just pump it up and extract it as you go, but the air compressor makes it nice because while that's doing that, you can go ahead and go on to other things with the car and do other things while it's sucking it out. All right, guys, like and subscribe.